Hey, it's Oliver from Headliner here to give you some updates about what's been going on in our world. So, pretty big news. Libsyn has integrated Headliner into their dashboard. And you can see that right here. There's a new module called Headliner app. Any of you using Libsyn can now go in, select an episode, click this gradient button, and start making videos directly from there. Pretty awesome stuff, and looking forward to doing more in the future. Up here, we have some updates to our automation CMS. For those of you that don't know or are new to this, automation allows you to link your podcast RSS feed into Headliner. We'll check for any new episodes you make and start making videos for you in whatever style, aspect ratio, or templates you want. And it's kind of a nice way to easily get videos for anything you're creating without having to go back and do the work to create an audiogram yourself. Or actually, some of these are actually full-on videos now. But in any case, up until this past week, you could only create it for episodes that published when and beyond when you first set up the automation. But now, due to popular demand, you can now create an audiogram from any episode in your back catalog. So first off, let me show you here. This is the automations I have running. These are 4 of our newer templates up here. And then you can see all the episodes from the back catalog. This one, for example, has 32 videos attached to it. This one has 4. This one has 4. And then this one has 0. So if I want to add videos to this episode and get some videos to promote one of my older ones, I just click that button. And it's going to go ahead and send that audio up to the automation fairies, whatever you want to call them, the magicians, the wizards. Well, we shouldn't use wizards because we use that in other terms, but there's just some magic going on, right? So now this episode's going to have 4 videos made for it, and you can just click through all the ones you want. You can go nuts and just make tons of videos. All right, moving on. We now have some adjustments to the editor for some of you that are doing some of the more advanced video creation. This clip is from the Adventure Bound podcast. I actually met Rob, the host, standing outside one of the many packed social media sessions at Podfest last week in Orlando. He was a super nice guy, super cool, so I thought, let's use his podcast in an example. I don't know if he wants me to or not, but here goes. So one thing you can do now is take the media tracks and move them. So if you're using transparent layers and things like that, and maybe you make a mistake or you decide you want to change things up, you can now just kind of drag those tracks around and get more advanced features to make more advanced videos in an easier way, right? So you don't have to be stressed out about figuring out your layering before you go. Secondly, you can click on this text track, and you can actually duplicate the text tracks now. So if you're working with the same style, you just duplicate it, move it around the timeline however you want, and change up the specific text as needed. So this should definitely help the editor become even more fully featured in advance for your video creation needs. In here, you'll notice I have an audiogram pulled up that I made. It says, woohoo, Headliner is now like an elephant. It never forgets your settings in this wizard. So you might have a clue as to what's coming next. So I've made this audiogram. I'm going to show you the new deal. So if you're using a lot of the same template for your audiograms, this is going to help you out a ton. So I go here to the audiogram wizard. I'm just going to use the sample audio and then just keep clicking through. Square. And now look at that. Woo! It's taken all the settings from that audiogram and pre-populated it into the audiogram wizard. The waveform, the text, the image. If you had a progress animation, whatever you have, it's going to remember it. Pretty cool stuff. It should save you a ton of time making audiograms from scratch. So some other news. In the news, we were actually featured in Forbes. Josh Dudley wrote an article about Headliner, which is pretty sweet. And then also, Neil was quoted in this article about SoundCloud, the SoundCloud investment that SiriusXM made. So you can see right down here. Here we go. Neil Modi talking about the industry. Pretty cool stuff. Also, something that a surprising number of people at Podfest didn't know yet is that Headliner has mobile apps available for Apple and Android devices. So you can see here, we're doing pretty well on the ratings. And also doing well here. So you can create audiograms and automations and also share any video you've created on Headliner to Instagram, any social network right from your phone using the Headliner mobile app. So definitely check this stuff out. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, you can write to me, Oliver at headliner.app. That's Oliver at headliner.app.